Good night to you, Colonel. Gentlemen, tomorrow at dawn we cross the Niemen into Russia. We'll talk of peace in Moscow.
And on the 12th of June, 1812, Napoleon Bonaparte, at the head of an army of 200,000 men, crossed the river Niemen into Russia. To combat this aggressive invasion of their homeland, the Russian peasant chose to welcome the French with nothing more than a destroyed storehouse, a widely desolated land.
Looting, burning. As soon as Napoleon approaches a village, the peasants and serfs run off with their carts and horses and grain. What they can't take away with them, they burn or slaughter. If we don't put a stop to it somewhere, we're going to leave behind us a desert, a scorched earth.
We must fight. The army demands it, the Tsar demands it, and the people demand it.
What does the army want? To be destroyed? Because that would be what would happen if we fought now. What does the Tsar want? To be brought to his knees? Because that would be what would happen if we fought now. What do the people want? To be the subjects of Napoleon? Because that would be what would happen if we fought now. Gentlemen, I've been put in command to give the army, the Tsar, and the people what they really want. And what they really want is to drive the last Frenchman from the soil of Russia. And that I propose to do when I can.
But the looting and the burning, General.
Let it continue. Let it increase.
Soon they will be at our gates. He'll not enter Moscow. We will stop him. Every one of us will go. They should call up more men immediately. Kutuzov is afraid to fight. He's too old. He's a doddering idiot. He never was any good. What's wrong with the Emperor? Why doesn't he replace him? We will show Europe how Russia rises in the defense of Russia.
Lord God, hear us when we pray to thee. Strengthen with thy might our most gracious sovereign, Emperor Alexander Pavlovich, and give him victory over his enemy, even as thou gavest Moses the victory over Amalek, Gideon over Midian, David over Goliath. Smite down our enemies and destroy them swiftly beneath the feet of thy faithful servants. Preserve our army. Put a bow of brass in the hands of those who have armed themselves in thy name, and gird their loins with strength for the fight. Take up the spear and shield and arise to help us. Confound and put to shame those who have devised evil against us. May they be before the faces of thy faithful warriors as dust before the wind. And may thy mighty angel confound them and put them to flight. Let them fall before thy servants' feet and be laid low by our hosts.
I came to say goodbye.
Oh?
I'm leaving Moscow today.
Where are you going?
To the army. They hope to make a stand against Napoleon at Borodino.
You're going to join up yourself, finally?
I don't know. I'm going to see. I have to see what it's like, what it means for myself. Prince Andrei is in command of a regiment. I'm going to try to find him and stay with him.
When did you decide to do this?
Oh, I've been thinking about it for a long time.
Even you, Pierre?
You will stay to dinner, won't you?
Oh, yes, do, Pierre. By all means.
Only to say goodbye.
That's good. Come along.
Lots of my school friends are going, and they're younger than I.
Nonsense.
You must study.
It's not nonsense. Every man is needed.
Every man, not every infant.
Besides, I can't study now when our fatherland is in danger.
Teacher, be quiet.
You heard from Andre?
Yes, one letter.
Did he? How is he?
Well enough, but sad. His father died, you know.
Yes, I know. And although his father was my enemy, I prayed for him. He was the first person in the whole world to disapprove of me, Pierre. I suppose you're not really grown up until that happens to you. Did Andre say anything about me in his letter?
No, Natasha.
Do you think he'll ever forgive me?
He has nothing to forgive.
Pierre, you must promise me something.
Yes?
Don't let anything happen to you. If it did, I'd... Did you hear me, Pierre?
Yes, I heard. I promise.
And Pierre,
Yes?
if you do see Andre, tell him I prayed for the soul of his father.
Can you tell me where I'll find Colonel Bolkonsky?
Colonel, this gentleman's been asking to see you.
Pierre. Andre. At last.
What are you doing here?
It's a little hard to say. I came to see the battle.
Why?
It's hard to explain, Andre. It's such an enormous event. All our lives will be different from now on because of what's going to happen here tomorrow. I'm sorry about your father's death, Andre.
He was an old man. He couldn't live with the thought of being driven away from Bald Hills. How are they taking it in Moscow?
You know that Mary has gone to your aunt's at Ryazan. It was Nicholas Rostov who got her out of Bald Hills just in time.
Nicholas. So Anatole Kuragin did not honor Countess Rostov with his hand.
He couldn't. He was married already.
Well, it was all very long ago. I'm sure she's had time to forget her disappointment.
Andre, you remember one of our old discussions about...
Yes. I said that a fallen woman should be forgiven. But I didn't say that I could forgive her, and I can't.
But you can't compare Natasha to a fallen woman.
What romantic dreams I had. You mean ask for her hand again, be magnanimous, and so on. Yes, that would be very noble. But...
I'm sorry. How are you, Andre? You seem so strange, disturbed.
The first thing you must learn about a battle, Pierre, is that on the night before it is fought, the men who are to fight it are likely to seem a little disturbed.
Oh, it's more than that.
Perhaps it is. I've been in many battles, Pierre. But for the first time, I feel that I'm going to die tomorrow.
Nonsense. Why?
I just feel it. Why are you really here, Pierre? Why, when you hate violence and war, did you decide to do this?
I don't know. Because I finally realized you can't hate something you've never known and don't understand. How do you think the battle will go? They say our position is good.
Success never depends on positions, orders, plans, or even on numbers. A battle is won by men determined to win it. And despite those men at headquarters who consider war a game, war is the most horrible thing in life. If it were in my power, I would not take one prisoner. The French are my enemies. They destroyed my home, caused my father's death, exiled my sister and my child. Now they hope to destroy Moscow. Why take prisoners? That's playing at war. Take no prisoners. Kill and be killed. If there were none of this playing at war, we would go to war only when it was worthwhile going to certain death as now. I'm sorry. Why should I burden you with all this? If we're both alive tomorrow night, we'll have a bottle and we'll laugh at everything I've said tonight. Forgive me, you're sleepy. It's time for me to sleep, too.
No, I'd like to stay here.
Go. Go! I have no time for you now. The only friends I have at this moment are the men who are going to fight at my side tomorrow. Goodbye. Whether we meet again or not.
Take down a proclamation to all troops. Soldiers, this is the battle you have all longed for. Victory depends on you. It will give us all we need, comfortable quarters and a speedy return to our country. Act as you did at Austerlitz, Friedland, Vitebsk, and Smolensk. Let posterity say with pride, of each of you, he was in the great battle before Moscow. Well, Debussy, what is Paris saying?
Sire, all Paris regrets your absence.
I should say they do. What have you in there?
A surprise, Your Majesty.
What's that?
A present from the Empress for Your Majesty.
My son, the King of Rome. Admirable. Take him away, Debussy. It is too soon for him to see a field of battle. Follow me, Debussy. Ah, you must not leave, Debussy. Stay, and we'll give you something to tell Paris.
There's a lot of wind out there, isn't there? But it happens to be made of iron.
Better get down from there, mate. Or the next time it won't be your hat that blows off, it'll be your head.
Excuse me. Realize.
Mail number 3, you're too slow. Ready? Fire! Sir, you can't stand here. You're in the way.
Sorry. Try to keep out of everybody's way.
Up with your sights there, number 4. You're firing low. Number 5, quicker with your charging.
How is it you're not afraid, sir?
Are you afraid?
They have no mercy, you know, when they come singing over. Heaven help us.
Ready? Fire!
Having a pleasant morning, sir.
Interesting morning.
Interesting? You hear that, mate? Interesting.
Here comes a live one.
Hey, don't come this way, back there, towards the infantry.
Oh, found your friend, eh? Know him well? Sir, beyond the trees, the French infantry advancing en masse.
Hold your fire!
Hold your fire!
Lower your sights and wait till you hear the order to fire.
Fire! Sire, I must report that Morat's infantry regiments have turned back and are retreating in full disorder.
Savoy's cavalry should have gone first to clear the way. Send them now.
There's only enough ammunition for 4 more charges, sir.
Run to the reserves and bring up more.
I'll go too.
Walter, take me to a dressing station. Help me.
Doctor,
Yes?
Doctor, this boy needs help.
How far have you carried him?
I don't know.
You should have saved yourself the trouble. He's dead.
Damn you, Napoleon. Damn you to hell.
Well, we've stood our ground. We've taken the worst that Napoleon has to offer.